People will never know you have a great idea until you tell them about it.
How did you get into public speaking? Is it something that you were born with?
Growing up, they used to tell us that whenever you're in a place, be proactive. Make sure you're seen. Make sure you're known, because you don't know what's coming next for you. People will naturally draw to a place where they are seeing an unfolding happening. You're not just manipulating anyone, you're influencing them to a place of clarity.
What are those things that you think undermine someone's public speaking presence?
If there is one thing that I don't appreciate women doing, is shrinking themselves. Stop shrinking yourselves. Don't wait until you're fully ready to start to speak, because the time might as well never really come. Sometimes we are just one word away to some opportunities. Sometimes promotions are actually bargained in the boardroom.
You're welcome to another episode of the High Expert Interview. Today we'll be talking about the art of persuasion in public speaking. We've definitely had different conversations. We've been speaking at probably events, you speak to your friends. So public speaking is a thing that all of us do. In today's episode, we're speaking with Linda Musiime. She's an MC, a public speaker, and an e-learning officer at Victoria University. This is one you do not want to miss. So Linda, hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm great, thank you. How are you?
So before we get started, we'd like to know, how did you get into public speaking? Is it something that you were born with? Is it something how did you talk to us about that?
How did I get into public speaking? From when I was younger, I had always loved to speak casually with people, to speak before people, but even most importantly, I always realized that I love to address audiences. I love to stand before a classroom and, guide the room. And then it was later that I noticed that I could use my voice to simply guide and to be able to cause an impact or even awaken something in a person. And that's when I actually started to get intentional, and I started to view communication as not just communication, but rather as a tool of transformation. Yeah.
So Linda, you've mentioned something to do with being intentional, and that's something that's a very key point. So we want to know, is public speaking something that came naturally to you, or you grew the skill over time?
I always naturally love to express myself to people through speech. But then effective public speaking is definitely something that I upskilled and I got intentional about. And, I wanted to eventually recognize it as one of my transformative talents. So effective public speaking, that one was intentionally built. And real expressing myself to people, was something I was born with, because I'm naturally a person who loves to speak.
Oh,
yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay, so looking back at your experience, and you mentioned that you're with Victoria University, what situations or scenarios have shaped your confidence?
The scenarios that have shaped my confidence most especially, it is, how would I call it? I have prepared. I always prepare a lot, even before going to events. I always do some background preparation, but also I believe that action gets better as you continue to do this. Yeah. So if you ask what's shaping my confidence, I get it from the place of, doing that. And then I also think about authenticity. When I had just started out in public speech, I do it mostly for impact, to make sure that I leave the room inspired, I leave the room feeling like something has changed about them. And for me, looking at it from that place, I realized that when I get to be myself and I recognize my voice and wear it, that gives me confidence, because I'm speaking from the part of authenticity.
Oh, wonderful. Now, I have to ask, you've mentioned speaking at public events. Most people, when they start speaking, the first thing, they'll start shaking, they'll start stammering, they'll stammer over their words. How do you get over those nerves? How do you get over that?
Okay, what I would tell people that struggle when it comes to speaking to audiences, I'll get back to authenticity. First, you need to own your voice and stop feeling like your ideas don't belong. You need to, first of all, believe that your ideas are valid and they belong in this room. You have to make sure that your presence does not contradict with your body. So you have to make sure that tone, the body, everything matches. Yeah, your posture. So if you get to be authentic and share from a place of, this is what I know, and I really know it for sure without a doubt, you will be able to communicate as though your ideas belong in the place.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Oh, I love that so much.
Maybe that to add on to that, preparation is key. When you prepare, you feel less nervous than if you haven't prepared. So you can't, for example, have an event tomorrow and you just want to show up tomorrow and start on the event. I would expect you really to, if it has a theme, go make some research about the theme. Know the kinds of people that are going to be there. Know how to articulate your ideas, then show up at the event. Because when you show up prepared, it gives you confidence. It's one other element that gives you confidence.
Now, looking into persuasion, when we talk about persuasion, many people think of manipulation. So in the communication sense, how do I effectively, communicate, persuade people without coming off like a manipulator?
I want to clarify something before I even get into the depth of this. I just don't think that persuasion in communication is manipulation. And this is how I define persuasion in communication. Do you have the ability to influence people to the place of understanding, to the place of action, or even transformation? If you are able to drive the room in that sense, because people are looking for understanding, people are looking for action, and people are looking for anything that can transform them, and that's not without force. People will naturally draw to a place where they are seeing an unfolding happening. People will be drawn to a place where there is understanding, and I wouldn't call that manipulation. You're not just manipulating anyone, you're influencing them to a place of clarity, from a place of trust. And when you do that without really forcing anyone, I'd call that good persuasion in communication, which is a good thing.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Now, Linda, I'm sure being at Victoria University, you get to interact with a lot of students. There's very many events. Now, what would you say sets leaders who are influential apart from those that are not? Because you see, sometimes when you enter a room, some leaders command presence, and then there are those who lose the room.
Yeah.
So what do you think sets them apart?
Okay, what I would say would set apart leaders that have influence and those that don't. I just totally believe that commanding a room is less about, making noise and shouting and being the loudest, but more about being intentional, about being authentic, and owning your story. I say owning your story a lot because it's from a place of owning your story and knowing that this is my story, these are my ideas, I believe and trust in them, that you will get the kind of confidence that airs them out, because people are not looking at a fluent delivery. They're just looking at how they are feeling, but by what you're telling them. So if you can make the room feel you more than they see you, I would call that good influence for a person who is leading and they want to have influence. So let's take it like this. People look for more about what you make them feel than what they see in you. Yeah.
That's wonderful, and it's actually very insightful, because you want that when you go in a room, you're remembered and not forgotten the very minute you step out.
Yeah.
So Linda, you mentioned something about tone, body language, posture, and how they actually do have an impact on how the audience perceives you. Now, for someone out there who is maybe preparing for a public speaking event, what tips can you give them on body language, tone, and all that?
Body language when it comes to public speaking is really everything. Why do I say that? It's because tone knows how to bring out your emotions. And then when it comes to your body language communicates confidence. And then when it comes to energy, how is your energy? I don't want people to start feeling like you're not matching your presence. You're rather contradicting with your presence in the room. So I would say, for you to be able to set your tone and then set your body language and the energy, it takes adequate preparation. Again, preparation. Even the best speakers, they rehearse, they prepare, they research, they take the initiative to find out more. I'll bring back the example where I, for example, have an event tomorrow, and let's just create a random theme. It's about creativity and innovation in alignment to, for example, career growth. So if that's the event that you're going to host, you already know the audience because the theme informs you of the audience. So in your research the previous day, you don't even have to wait for one day till the event. Yeah, for a person who is really passionate about communication, which is really important, yeah, I expect you to research about creativity and innovativeness. Yeah, and also go as far as making research, because when things are backed by research, like for example numbers,
Yeah, that's true.
in accordance to the report of whatever and whatever, we actually see that this percentage of people have done this and it has worked out. People trust evidence. That's when you get to affirm that your speech is from a place of, I confirm, I know, I have read,
Yeah.
I'm confident. Now, if you've prepared like that, you will show up in a room and you will command it and you will guide it, not necessarily because you're being loud or you're being harsher or you're being more commanding, not really, but because you are prepared. Preparation breeds confidence. But even beyond that, I also prepare spiritually and mentally. I am a Christian, so really, I also believe in really praying about it and talking to God. It doesn't seem practical to the world, but it is actually very practical in the spirit.
So Linda, you've emphasized a lot about preparation, having everything you need, your notes ready for your talk. Now I have to ask, for a woman who is in a professional space and she's speaking, what advice would you have for her to be able to speak with authority without feeling like she has to be someone else?
What I would tell the woman out there, whether in the corporate space or it's something you're developing to really, start to earn a living, I would say, first and foremost, I urge women to not shrink themselves. If there is one thing that I don't appreciate women doing, is shrinking themselves. Stop shrinking yourselves. Don't wait until you're fully ready to start to speak, because that time might as well never really come. Yeah, but also most importantly, I want to tell people out here, that mostly women, that people will never know you have a great idea until you tell them about it. And that brings me back to a very major factor, which is communication, that we are speaking about right now. Communication is a way that helps to solve so many problems, but if you don't use it, people might really never know. You could bear a very great, incredible idea that could be meaningful to the organization. Let's say you're in the boardroom, but if you don't ever get up to speak about it, it will always stay with you. And if it could have definitely changed your life, then it doesn't, simply because you sat on it. So I would urge women that are out there to speak up. Sometimes we are just one word away. We are just simply one speech away to some opportunities, to some open doors. So speak up, own the space, speak like your ideas belong, own your voice, it is yours, and don't shrink yourself.
Thank you, Linda. That really actually stands out to me so much. You emphasize something very pertinent, owning your voice and the language that you're speaking. So now we're speaking also to the fear, the mistakes. What are those things that you think undermine someone's public speaking presence?
Okay, the few mistakes that I know that could really undermine your public speaking is when you enter a room and you start to feel like you don't belong there. You're stepping as though the ground is not yours. You're speaking as though the microphone is about to run away. Yeah, I would say, do not do that. When you enter a room, feel like you belong in that room. Speak like your ideas really belong. Speak like you're so sure about what your name is. You know, like how they ask you, what's your name? And you confidently say, my name is Linda Musiime. I have no doubt it's my name. The exact same way you pronounce your name when asked, I would propose you do the same when it comes to articulating your ideas and airing them out to the audience. Speak them like you're so sure they are the facts, because then you gain your confidence and you speak and people listen. I would also say it comes handy with not shrinking yourself. I'd also say preparation is a good habit. So things that don't make people's public speech good is when they have not prepared. You're just speaking out of the blue. You just showed up and you started to speak anyway. You didn't make a little research. You didn't jot down some talking points. Even the greatest speakers in this world, they have never stopped to jot down talking points. So who are you to just show up at an event and you don't have talking points? So I would say prepare. Own your voice. Again, own your voice. Speak your ideas as though you're mentioning your name. Do not shrink yourself. Speak like you belong. And there, slowly by slowly, growth comes from action. The more you act, the more your growth. Eventually, I can't say you stop being nervous. I can't say, but you start to learn. You're now more familiar. So start with small conversations. A conversation you hold with a person, speaking to a small group of people. Volunteer to say anything, yeah? Take up opportunities. There are so many opportunities, but you won't take them on because, no, I can speak before people. I have, how they call it? Anxiety.
Yeah, fatality.
Those are things for whites. Yeah, so don't be there saying, because however much you really say you have anxiety and all, you might forever keep buried in your anxiety.
That's it, actually.
Yeah.
And come to think of it, I listen to a lot of speakers like Michelle Obama, Emma Green, that have podcasts and have been doing this for long.
Yeah.
I doubt they'll show up unprepared. I am sure they're doing their research, they're doing their notes. By the time they turn up, they are very confident of their topic. I think that's one of the things that would actually help with public speaking, right?
Does.
So Linda, I'll take you back to the events that you mentioned you've done before.
Yeah.
So how do you personally prepare if someone is out there and they're watching and they want to know they have a speaking, even if it's small, actually still can even be at a family gathering.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be at a big stage. How do you personally prepare?
How do I personally prepare? First, if I have an event, I've been notified I have an event, I have to go and moderate and panel or even MC. This is what I do. I first get the theme, understand the people that I'm going to be talking to, and I align my talking points from that place, from knowing the event, from knowing the theme, and things became easy. They will tell you the theme of the day. Yeah. So I prepare by getting my talking points together, so that when I am on the stage and anything just happens, I know how to quickly troubleshoot. I know how to quickly get creative, because anything is possible when it comes to public speech. Yeah, everything is really possible. So first, I research, I put my talking points together, but also I rehearse every single day. I will give an instance. There is a time I had to give a speech on my book launch. I rehearsed that speech for 1 month until the D-Day. For 1 whole month. Because I didn't want to stammer, I didn't want to lose the words. I needed to get what I could compliment just in case I forgot the actual word. I need to be sure and be ready for any of those things. 1 whole month practicing. So you can even practice, people used to say, practice in the mirror. It's true. Practice in the mirror. Practice. You can just get Martha here and you're like, Martha, I'm going to just rub through something of mine I would like for you to hear, and you tell me what you think. It helps. It helps because you get firmer in what you're going to deliver. You get confident in what you're going to deliver. It even kind of reduces the stress of the fact that you could be on stage and anything happens. You're kind of not leaving any room for fear. You're not leaving any room for your nerves to rake like that and go out of place. No. So practice, rehearse. Like I earlier on said, growth comes from action. The more you do something, the better you get at it. Yeah.
Indeed, like they say, preparation is key for everything. Very, very key for everything. Yeah, so Linda, I would like to speak to a hardworking women member out there who is in the professional space or in the business space, definitely public speaking happens in all places. What advice or tips? I know you already mentioned not shrinking yourselves, but what other practical advice would you give for
Okay, what I would give for a woman in the corporate space or even not in the corporate space, communication is something that we can't deal away with. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm concluding my master's degree, and my research topic is communication mix, consumer engagement, and brand visibility. Why am I bringing this up? Because if you have a chance to speak, I would rather you use it. Yeah, it works in handy when it comes to marketing. So if you're a corporate body, you need to stand out in the room. You need to, let people feel your presence. Growing up, they used to tell us that whenever you're in a place, be proactive. Make sure you're seen. Make sure you're known, because you don't know what's coming next for you. Sometimes promotions are actually bargained in the boardroom.
That's true.
So what am I trying to say? Don't look at communication as just something. Look at it as though it's a life changer. It's a game changer. Like I said, some promotions are decided in the room. They see how you deliver. They see your opinion about certain things, yeah? So I'm trying to say that don't deal away with communication. Deal with the barriers that are hindering you from effective communication. Communication is essential. When it comes to business people that have things they are selling, people that have enterprises, communication today is dominating the world, both online and offline. Word of mouth is crucial like that. For a person to know that you run an enterprise and you need clients to come in, you need to tell them. They'll not just wake up and dream about it. When you have products that you're selling, you cannot deal away with the fact that you have to let people know you're selling something. Yeah. So let's put it upon ourselves to actually learn how to communicate with a neighbor, to communicate with your boss, to communicate with a community. You could be the reason someone's life changes by your word of mouth. You could sell out if it's a product simply because you spoke. You could, you could have your enterprise on top, on the list of some of Uganda's big enterprises simply because there is visibility, and today visibility is mostly aligned with communication. Yeah. So if you want to succeed at anything, try and learn how to communicate. Practice it. Do it as though your life depends on it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm inspired to start speaking. After there's a saying that goes, closed mouths don't get fed.
Right.
You have to be ready for an opportunity. And like you say, you can step in, you do not know who is in the room.
Yeah.
So take every time you're in a room, you're around people, use that chance. Speak up. You do not know who's going to listen to you or what opportunities lie in there.
Yeah.
Okay. There's another thing that I want us to circle back to. You mentioned communication and effective communication.
Yeah.
And what differentiates both of them is the intentionality behind them. I would like to ask you, if someone wants to be a stronger, more influential communicator and they're starting, how do you advise them to start?
How do I advise the person who would like to start? Firstly, I would tell you to have motivation. If anything, everything starts with motivation. Yeah, have a reason as to why you want to start. Because if any other thing is failing, that's going to give you the momentum to move forward. Yeah, and I'll just relate to my own personal story of me. I had always loved to speak. It's a skill I had. I loved to talk to people. I loved to express myself. But like I earlier on mentioned, that public speaking, effective public speaking, is something that I intentionally built. Now bring us to what we call personal branding. Now, we are in a world today where personal branding is so essential. And if you're branding yourself as a communicator, you should communicate it without even having to speak it. Yeah. I was recently at a podcast where I was hosted because they looked at my profile. Are you the kind that goes out, you, for example, go to CJ's and you just take pictures and you're like out and chilling? Because when we are speaking about personal branding, for a person who wants to really start to get intentional about public speaking, because if you're getting intentional, you're looking at getting events where you will MC, or where you will panel, or where you will get speaking engagements, or where you're looking at all of those things. That if you reached out and you're like, oh, Martha, I would like to be hosted on your podcast, and they come to check out your social media handle, and it communicates out and chilling, they can't trust that you can say what they would want you to say to their community, because they don't find it on your personal profile. So start by branding. Branding is intentionality in itself as well. Yeah, that if a person checks you out, they can feel intrigued to have you work with, because then you're not in the room, your brand is speaking for you, your social media is speaking for you. And then I love to tell people to have mentors. There is nothing that we are doing today that other people have not done before. Before you started to think about it, other people had already done it. So have a mentor who helps you and guides you about the industry. That for me, this is what I found, this is what I've learned. If you want to get farm, do this. I had one myself when I was starting out. Yeah. And for the record, when I had just started to really MC events, I used to do it for free. Yeah, I used to voluntarily do it. And my mentor told me that when the time came for me to start earning from it, I would know. And today I know. Yeah, so it comes with also being intentional. So the more you get intentional, then you get to attract opportunities. Yeah, you get to have people speak to other people about you because of how they know you, because the brand doesn't just stop at social media. You are your own brand. You walk every day, you meet people. The kind of message that comes out of you must represent your brand. Yeah, that if someone has spoken to you and you've spoken to them, they walk away feeling like, oh my God, this young girl. And the next time they see someone who has a platform and, they know it would do for you because of how they know you, they won't think twice when it comes to referring you.
You mentioned mentors. Tell us 3 people that you look up to.
Okay. Woo. I have many people that I look up to. However much I have an international person that doesn't really mentor me, but they mentor me on social media.
We love to hear those.
Yeah, I look at this gentleman called Vusi Thembekwayo.
Very great.
For the record, I have a picture with him when he was last here in Uganda. I happened to take a picture. Yeah, I see how this gentleman speaks. And that's all he does. And it is source of living. He earns a whole living from speaking. And he tailors his speeches. He gets invited everywhere. To have him come to a country to speak to you, you literally pay him a lot. I'm trying to bring out how communication is.
Yeah.
It gets better as per your level of polishing it. The more you polish it, the best it becomes. I don't think people invite him to speak to them simply because he's just delivering any other message. There is some bit of, I don't know, I can't describe it, but his price is worth it. Yeah? So that's one of my biggest, not biggest, but biggest. Yeah. Yeah, and then in the country, I look at Uncle Mark. Uncle Mark mentors me at a personal level. Yeah, so I'm glad to have him really mentor me and also learn from him. Yeah, he's one person that I would view his statuses, and he would have functions on weekdays, on weekends. There is no weekend he doesn't have a function. And he's getting paid for simply just speaking. Imagine showing up at an event to just speak. You are only getting paid by your word of mouth. Isn't that beautiful?
That is good.
So it's beautiful how communication is really run in the world. And my whole other inspiration is for me to be a great, great communicator that people will eventually look up to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Wonderful. Aren't you inspired? So my final question to you is, there is farming.
Yeah.
There is very many things. Why public speak?
Why public speaking? Public speaking is so easy. People might really feel like it's hard, but it's one of those easy ways to make money. It really is. It doesn't require science, it doesn't require a degree, it doesn't require a PhD or anything. You just have to really hone a craft and start to earn from it. And why else would I choose public speaking over every other thing? Because public speaking eventually comes at the center of farming, of business, of hospitality and tourism industry, it takes public speaking. Our honorable members of parliament are honorable members of parliament because they are voicing our issues.
That's right.
And guess what? They're being paid crazy amounts of money to simply speak for us.
Speak.
Yeah. So why public speaking over every other thing? Because it's at the center, at the heart of every other thing. Because all of those things mean they need marketing. If they don't need marketing, they need a voice to reach. For example, our honorable members of parliament are in parliament to voice our issues. Yeah? And that's really it. So I can't think of any other thing other than communication.
Maybe before we close, do you have any last words for our listeners out there?
The last words I have for our listeners today is that if you don't know how to communicate, start to rehearse. Why would I urge everyone? Because I'm definitely urging everyone. I don't care if you have anxiety. I don't really care about if you fear to speak before people. I was telling someone recently that those things of, how do they call outgoing people?
Extrovert.
Those people that say, I'm not an extrovert, I'm an introvert. Those things stop from when we are in secondary school. Today's world requires to be outgoing, to be bold, to speak. Because if you don't speak, I'll assure you, you might as well want to stay at the level you're at, because for as long as you want to elevate, you need to be able to speak up. Top industry leaders speak. They might not really necessarily speak, but they have people that are speaking for them. I was scrolling through LinkedIn and I always follow Dr. Patrick Utature's small clips and videos. At his level, he could have just stopped to speak, but he speaks to people. I'll use an example of Dr. Sudhir Pareria. He doesn't really necessarily speak, but you've seen videos about people speaking of his enterprises. Yeah, and you will see clips everywhere. That's all marketing, that's all communication. I would urge everyone to try and learn how to speak. In today's world, what makes you stand out is visibility. And if you are not communicating, you will not get visible. Try and learn how to communicate.
Thank you, Linda. You've been such a wonderful host. You've learned so much from you. Thank you for all the nuggets you've given us about public speaking and having that influence. And I would urge you out there listening, take this as your sign. Take this as your sign. Start reading, enrich your knowledge. When you have an opportunity to speak, do not step back. Stand up, speak. Your voice deserves to be in bigger rooms. Watch out for our next episode that are going to be coming out. Feel free to leave a comment, leave a question. We'll be able to get back to you. Comment if there's any topics that you want to listen to. Please comment. We'll also touch those. See you next time.